Welcome to the Purple Party, known as Purple Nerd Channel, a home for all those who geek out on all things Prince related. In November of 1986, Prince was finishing up his latest project, Crystal Ball, a gigantic triple album which included Dream Factory and an abandoned project that he was planning on doing with The Revolution, and a canceled album called Camille. For more information on both these projects, I did do a video about both of these unreleased albums, and I will have links to both those videos in the description down below. When Prince turned in this magnum opus, Warner Brothers really didn't know what to do with this much material and were pretty certain that they would not be able to market it properly, so they came up with the idea of telling him that he should go ahead and trim it down to a double album, because they believed they could really kind of work with that and market and sell that better than a triple album. But they were smart enough to know that telling Prince this, basically telling him to alter his music, was probably not going to go over very well. So they went ahead and put together a team, and this team was of studio engineers and in-house producers, and they were going to send this team to Prince and help Prince go ahead and narrow this down to a double album. Well, Prince kind of got wind of it because, this meeting that they had about making this super team, one of Prince's managers was there, and he went and told Prince what was going on and that Prince will probably be getting a phone call soon letting him know the unfortunate news. So by the time Warner Brothers got around to calling Prince in and try to set up this meeting, he told him, "Don't worry about it. I've already narrowed it down to a double album, and I even recorded a new song for the project." And mind you, he did this within a 48-hour time period. This newly recut double album would be called Sign of the Times. Sign of the Times was released on March 30th, 1987, peaking at number 6 on Billboard's Top 200, number 4 on the R&B charts, and number 4 in the UK, selling over 1 million copies on its initial release. Singles were released for If I Was Your Girlfriend, which peaked at number 12 on the R&B charts, Sign of the Times, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Top 100 singles, number 1 on the R&B charts, and number 10 in the UK. You Got the Look, which peaked at number 2 on Billboard's Top 100 singles, and I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man, which peaked at number 14 on the R&B charts. A promotional single was released for Hot Thing in the US, and still managed to make it to number 14 on the R&B charts. Videos were released for Sign of the Times, You Got the Look, and I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man. Further promotion for this project came in the way of the Sign of the Times tour, which was only in Europe and not in America. And there was also the Sign of the Times concert film, which was released nationwide on November 30th, 1987. Which I did do a video for the concert film, and I will have a link to that video at the end of this video. Before we get into the music of this album, I will just like to go ahead and be upfront and say that I have actually covered quite a few of these songs in detail when I did videos for the Dream Factory album as well as the Camille album. So anytime as we're going through this album that I've come across one of those songs that I have already discussed, I will go ahead and defer you to which video I had already covered that song in. And of course, again, Dream Factory and Camille, those two videos that I covered those projects, those links will be in the description down below. We open up the project with the title track, Sign of the Times.
In France, a skinny man died of a big disease with a little name. By chance.
This song grabs your attention with the stripped down electro funk, but takes a turn quite dark when it comes to the lyrics of the song, as Prince tells horrific yet true stories about our fallen world. Rumor has it that the stories that he's mentioning are actually taken from newspaper headlines, as there were 3 papers left at his doorstep at one of the hotels he was staying while on tour. And he took all these headlines and took pen to paper and created this song. Next is Play in the Sunshine.
We got to play in the sunshine. Turn on the lights up to 10.
This is an upbeat jolt of sunshine, no pun intended, but lyrically it may be deceiving. as Prince is doing almost a new interpretation of his song 1999 as "We need to go ahead and dance like it's the last time, love everyone including our enemies, and play in the sunshine while there still is sunshine, because the purple rain is coming." Next is Housequake.
There's a brand new groove going round in your funky town.
I did a pretty deep dive on this party anthem when I covered it in the Camille video, so go ahead and check that one down in the description below. Next is the Ballad of Dorothy Parker.
Dorothy was a waitress on the promenade.
This is a song that I covered the backstory of in the Dream Factory video. Again, that will be in a link down below. And yes, Dorothy Parker is actually a real person. Next is It. Only Prince can make so much out of the word it. The live version of this in the Sign the Times concert film will absolutely blow your mind. Next is Starfish and Coffee.
Starfish and coffee, maple syrup and jam.
This true story I actually explained in the Dream Factory video, and again, description for that will be down below. Next is Slow Love.
Young is the night.
This song was originally recorded by Prince in 1984, and it's actually written by Carol Davis. Prince would rework this song a couple times, adding orchestration by Claire Fisher and adding horns to it, before finally adding it to this project. Prince's vocal performance really shows his range off as he hits multiple octaves. Prince would rework this song in 1993 with Mayte on lead, as it was supposed to be on her debut album, but for whatever reason didn't make the final cut. Next is Hot Thing.
Hot thing, Belly 21, hot thing.
This is a pretty straightforward song, as Prince is asking a young lady to join him for an evening of plenty good time. In the song, he also makes a reference to Crystal Ball, a nod to this project's original title. Next is Forever in My Life.
Forever I want you in my life.
This is an emotional song with both interpretations of its message. There are those that believe that this song is Prince telling his lady that he is ready to finally settle down, making this the song that you should play at every wedding. Others claim that he's actually talking to God, and it's a song of dedication and redemption. I've always taken the song from the matrimony point of view, but I can also see the I'm dedicating my life to God side of it as well. Oh, and random fact, the layering of vocals were actually meant to be in sequence together, but the engineer actually hit the wrong button, putting them out of sync, but when Prince heard it in playback, he thought it was a pretty cool effect and told her to go ahead and keep it the way it is. Next is You Got the Look.
Think I want you. You got the look, you got the hook.
This is the new song he recorded while cutting the album down. Originally, it was just a solo effort by him, but Sheena Easton was in the studio working on some other things, and he asked her to come over and do some background vocals for the song. She was having a difficult time keeping up with his guide vocals and just kind of started doing her own thing. And whatever thing she was doing, Prince liked so much, he was like, hey, I'm gonna do my thing, you do your thing, and we're gonna make this a duet. I actually did a video covering all of the collaborations that Prince and Sheena Easton did, and I will have a link to that video in the description below. Next is If I Was Your Girlfriend. I still claim that this song has one of the greatest opening lines of any song ever made. And I go into more detail about that in the Camille video, and again, I will have a link for that down below. Next is Strange Relationship.
More than that, I hate to see you sad. Hey, honey,
I have a strange relationship with this song, and I went into further detail about that in the Dream Factory video that I did, and I will have a link for that down below. Next is I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man. The song was originally recorded in 1979.
I could never take the place of your man.
And not touched again until 1986. as when Prince originally recorded, he was genius to know that the song just wasn't ready, and 7 years later he perfected it. The story being told is quite intriguing. As Prince turns down a young lady begging for his attention, he realizes that she's looking for a relationship to replace the one that she just got out of, and he knows that he cannot provide her that opportunity, and explains to her that in the end, they both will be unhappy. Now then, as awesome as this song is, the live version from the Sign of the Times concert film is way better. Not saying this is bad, I'm not dogging and trashing the whole, studio cut of this, but when you hear the live one, you understand what I'm saying. Next is The Cross. This is a beautiful gospel-themed song that turns into a Christian rock anthem by the end. The message is pretty simple: bring all your troubles to Jesus. After becoming a Jehovah's Witness, Prince would perform this song under the title of Christ.
He died for our sins. The Christ.
Next is going to be A Beautiful Night. This song is a live recording from the August 25th show of the Parade Tour. Prince would add overdubs later on at Sunset Sound, with Jill Jones adding background vocals and Sheila E.'s rap, which, interesting thing about Sheila E.'s rap and the reason it sounds the way it does is because she wasn't actually in the studio or at the live show. She was actually in a hotel in Cleveland, I think it was, as she was on tour with Lionel Richie, and performs this actually over the hotel phone. And Prince went ahead and recorded the phone conversation in the studio.
You can hardly be aware how I suffer from the heat. Never till he's on my feet. If we took a little walk, we might have a little talk. Play this tape.
Her rap is from a poem called The Table and the Chair. Next is Adore.
You own my heart and mind. Truly adore you.
Adore is in my top 5 greatest Prince ballads of all time. Lyrically, Prince checks all the emotional boxes, as this may be his most romantical song ever. And to quote him, love is too weak to describe how I feel about this song. Also, he sneaks in some of that naughty talk and even some humor.
Well, maybe not to ride, but
Sign of the Times is one of those albums that the world had to catch up to, as today it's revered as one of Prince's greatest works, and even to some rivals Purple Rain. But on its initial release, it was met by a meh response from most of the critics. Of course, all of those critics who had those negative opinions back then are all now eating their words and changing their story, praising it as a genius level type project. We were all blessed with the Super Deluxe edition of Sign of the Times on September 25th, 2020, either in an 8 CD 1 DVD set or a 13 LP 1 DVD set. With this being such a large collection and an expensive set, might I say, it is quite impressive that the set peaked at number 20 on Billboard's Top 200 when it was released, and number 2 on the R&B charts. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Please like this video and share it, and please subscribe to the channel. I have finally completed March Madness releases of Prince albums. This was the final one that was released in March. So I will see you on the next episode where I talk about a Prince album that was never released. And until the next episode, I wish you heaven.